everybody to today's video. Today, Catch, Clean, and Cook Episode 1, Rainbow Trout. Yeah, big thank you to, I think his name was Nat, for giving me this fish. So, now we're going to get to the cleaning process. Warning, if you are prone to gore, you might want to skip ahead for this. So, let's get to the filleting part.
Alright, so first thing you gotta do,
Uh-huh.
start descaling. You don't need to worry so much about the top of the head or the spine or the belly because you're not going to be using those. But
Yeah.
you want to get the sides really good. Just take your knife. You want to go perpendicular. You see how you got all the scales coming off?
Yeah.
You go from the base of the tail along the side, from the tail towards the head.
Yeah.
If you go the other way, it doesn't really work that good.
Yeah, because trout have like a specific fin where when you're scaling it, that, yeah, if you go from a certain direction, the scales just won't come off.
The worst of it's along the side. You basically want to go right up towards the gills. And that shows you your skin. Now, I'm gonna be cooking most of the fish, so if there's a little bit of scale left, it's not the end of the world because it will cook out. It's just...
And parasites.
Well, the idea is most of the parasites are going to be internal to the rib cage and its internal organs.
Yeah, let's just hope I do not regret this.
Does cooking not kill the parasites?
But yeah, the cooking does kill the parasites 90% of the time.
All right,
Or
so
freeze
you can see, you got most of the done on one side. And go to the other side, same thing. If this knife's any good, it'll actually work after this process because I don't have an actual descaling tool, so this is the cheap way of doing it when you don't actually have a descaler.
Yeah. Would have been easier if I actually got one, but I used to have one, but I lost it, and I don't even know where it is now.
Well, if the knife gets dull, I can always try and sharpen it again.
Yeah, that too.
Alright. Okay, so now that we're basically descaled,
Yeah.
first step, you make your incisions. So you're going to want to go right through the back of the spine. You want to go just behind the fin here. It's going to be tough on the spine. This is why I said you need a good knife for this.
Exactly, Grandpa.
Oh, sure, blame me for your decisions.
Ooh, brutal.
You can see the guts there, but you want to basically go that way. All the way through. Right?
I feel so bad for little bro.
You were aware this was going to be the case here, right?
Yes, yes, indeed I was.
Now you're just going to shove that off to the side. Now you can see lots of worms. There's basically the guts, but that's the meat you're going for, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what you're looking for. Now you'll notice I said we were going to trim these fins off.
Yeah.
You can or you don't have to necessarily because realistically your fillet is only going to be about that big because there's not a lot of meat down here and it's mostly just guts.
Yeah.
Likewise, you got at the top the spine and the rib cage here. So you can see how it's pointy in here.
Yeah.
You can stick your tip of your knife in there. You got a little bit of resistance at the top from the spine and the rib cage. So you're basically going to be carving out like that, all the way through. Gliding along the outside edge of the rib cage because all the meat and fat is on the outside of it. That leaves all the guts and innards attached.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to split down the center, and you don't normally want to do that either because that's where a lot of the fatty residue and stuff of the fish, like all the guts, all that jazz are. You want to leave that kind of alone. So, what you do, and this is why you leave the tail for last, and this is where you really want to have a good knife.
Do you want me to sharpen that one again?
Unfortunately, it's as sharp as it's really going to be.
Oh, okay.
We can always get another knife, too.
Realistically, you want an actual fillet knife for this because it's so much easier to cut through.
But Mr. Weldon Rust forgot to say that we needed one.
This was not on the agenda for today, Eli.
So what you do to start, you get just behind the back fins. You hold on good to the tail. You go down a bit into the chunk of meat, and then start your filleting process, right?
Yeah.
Once you get a little bit in there, you can see how you got the tailbone.
Yeah.
That's going to connect up to the rib cage along here.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is you want to hit that point, and that's when you start going here. This is why a good knife's going to help. Now you can see all that meat.
Yeah.
You can see where the spine's going. And this is why you want a good knife instead of this.
Do you want to try a different knife that might be
No,
sharper?
because this is about as good as you're going to get. Unless you got a longer, more slender knife that's sharper.
I can go check.
It's longer but not slender.
Well, you need something slender, right? Because the idea is you need something long so you can make slicing motions through. You're basically trying to... This is going to make a mess of it. You're trying to glide along the rib cage to get your meat down, right? You might get a little bit of bone in there. As you're going through, you're just cutting away from you. If you feel a bit of resistance around the rib cage, you want to back off a bit of it. This is making a mess of it. You go on and get a plate.
I can get a plate.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
So I'm not putting this on the table.
Yeah, because we
Make
don't really
sure-
want that on all blood.
Yeah, make sure before you guys start cooking, you rinse these off in cool water good.
Oh, yeah, we are planning on that.
I'm kind of butchering this side because this knife isn't ideal, but
I was
all
about
right,
to say
just
I
put
can,
it on there.
all right. I was about to say I can try resharpening, but see if I can get a little bit better.
Crazy how this one used to be a rainbow trout.
Yeah, if you want to give that a try sharpening it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it. I got some different sharpening tools in here that might work better.
We will be right back. Obviously, this isn't going to be the greatest fillet because stalker trout aren't exactly like the highest quality of trout. So, yeah, we're just this is just a first try for trout. Honestly, this is my second time I've ever had trout.
You can see how just sharpening it up made that much of a difference.
Okay, good.
Now you can see in here the ribs.
Yeah.
You can see here where it's tight to the rib cage.
Yeah.
And this side's all just wasted meat because we can't get a good cut. That's why when you're doing this, you want a really good fillet knife for it so you can actually just make it a swift motion.
Do I look like a fisherman?
Well,
like you can sit here and try to skim around it, but then you get these
honestly-
little pieces, and when you try to cook those, they just,
honestly, it's okay by now.
right? So we can try skimming a little bit more on the top side of it, but the problem
I
is
have to give Chris the other half too.
I want it.
Are you sure you want to?
Oh, heck yeah, I'm perfectly fine with doing
well,
that.
you got a couple decent little fillets. What you can do is cut them up into thirds
Yeah, we're planning...
for cooking them. Like after they're cooked, like cook it like a full fillet like this. But once they're cooked, you can third it. Maybe half out of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to try this side,
Okay.
have at her.
Okay.
Don't mind the blood on it. This is why you
Always include a warning.
go wash your hands first.
Yeah, good idea. I'm also gonna put my socks on because I came out barefoot.
What you did there, where you kind of messed it up.
Yeah, I really was not thinking for that.
When you're starting it, when you're going, you want to aim it down towards the spine.
Yeah.
You want to aim it down towards the spine because you're basically down into it and then gliding along the rib cage and spine.
Yeah.
If you start lifting up, that's when you get that.
Yeah, I did not know. That was
Okay.
That
You're
would
just learning. You haven't done this before.
Yeah, that would have been my first time filleting.
See how I'm like aiming down with it?
Yeah.
You're basically feeling the rib cage because you'll feel it as you're going down into it. You'll feel it starts to bite into the blade and it won't let you cut.
Yeah.
So you feel that, and then you just kind of tip it up a bit away from the rib cage. And if it starts to get too thin of a fillet, that's when you start diving back in. The idea is with a better knife, you can avoid this, where it's kind of more even and consistent. That's why you want a longer knife that's thinner and sharper along the whole length of it, because then you can make smooth slicing motions with it, right?
Right.
I can even get a fillet knife for next time I go out.
Well, that's what you need for doing this.
Yep.
If you're serious about doing this,
Yeah.
that would make it a lot easier for you.
Yeah, I'll remember that next time I go to a tackle store.
There. So now you can see you got one longer fillet. Now, if you had a slightly better knife, you could have gotten more down into it. But what you can see here is where the rib cage is, right?
Now this will have bones in it still, right?
Yes, but not as many. The idea is you're doing it this way to avoid it. Now, some guys, what they'll do with trout and salmon, these bigger fish, as you can see, I'll show you on this guy. We're not going to do it because I've kind of just showed you the basics for filleting.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the stores, you see the shape
Yeah.
of those steaks, those fish steaks.
Yeah.
So what those guys are doing is they're basically, this one's kind of a waste because you just filleted most of the meaty bits off. They're basically going down the base here, right? They're cutting through the fins. They're cutting all that guy out. And what they're doing now you can see here where some of the
Crap.
well, I think some of that might be eggs actually.
Eggs? That's cool.
No, not really.
Oh,
Oh well.
would have been baby fish, but it also would have been good for breakfast too.
Well, they may have eggs, but I don't think it would have spawned in there anyways.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had time anyways.
So you can see now with it cut, now you can get to the actual guts and internals. Now you can see here how you can see inside the rib cage, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can also feel the rib cage. You want to try this, Dad, so you know what you're doing?
All right.
You can feel the spine, you can feel the rib cage, and if you go up past the ribs, you can actually feel where they end.
Yeah. Okay.
This is all usable meat, but the problem is with the wrong fillet knife, you don't get enough of it cut because you can't, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So what other guys will do in the store, they start by doing what I just did there, trimming. So the head comes off the same.
Yeah.
You leave the tail for last because that just goes with the spine. You carve down the center line of it, and then you can literally scoop the guts out.
Right.
And then they just... And that's how you get those steak shapes.
Well,
when
what do
see
you do
them in
about the
store.
spine that you're cut through? Or does it come out, or you eat it with it?
No, you basically... What you do after that... Well, before you get to that point, what you can do is actually carve it out once you got your chunks. It's a little easier to manage.
Okay.
So, I don't want to make a total mess of your table here, but...
Yeah. It'll hose off.
Good.
Yeah.
So you can see here, it's got this membrane where all the guts are, right?
Right.
Carve it all out. And you get down here, this is basically nothing you can really use because there's a little bit of meat in it, but it's mostly just cartilage and sinew for the
that's,
tail.
yeah. Okay.
So that's no good. it's not really bone in here. Right? Really sinewy.
Yeah.
So everything from that point back is basically no good. So, you got most of it all gutted. You want to get rid of this membrane, because that's all what holds your innards.
Right.
So you can start.
Mm-hmm.
Peel the membrane out. And that goes with your guts. Now you just got the skin, the membrane, and the spinal. Okay? So then what you can do, find your spot. Let's say you want that. That's a good size steak.
Obviously, we're not eating this. So.
No, this is just for
Oh, you
demonstration.
can't eat that one now. It's not worth eating.
It's not worth eating because we filleted the side.
Yeah.
Most of the smaller fish, you'll be doing that. But on these bigger trouts, if you wanted to, if you trusted where it came from, like let's say it's a farm fish or whatever that you're getting fresh,
Okay.
you can cut it like this. Yeah, that's why you want a good knife. Now you'll see them in stores like that in the packages.
Right.
They'll be a little wider because they have the fillet on it. And then what you can do is basically just kind of scoop out the spine. Start at the top.
Right. So it looks like it still has some lots of good meat around there.
Uh-huh. And that's why the bigger fish like salmons and trout, you'll see the steaks.
Right.
Which is basically these with the fillets on the side.
Okay.
And then they just carve the rib cage out.
Okay.
And there you go.
Yeah, but it's just not enough meat on there to make it worthwhile.
Well, not because I filleted it, but that gives them a little bit there to try it, and it shows them the basics. Most of the smaller fishes, like if you go perch fishing, you're going to do that. You're not going to do this.
No, that's what we tried to do with the bluegill. I managed to actually fillet it and then discovered all these little tiny spots in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't eat that.
So you want to make sure that's what you're looking for here, right?
Yeah.
But it looks like it's fairly healthy. And if you feel down here, you're not going to feel a whole lot of bones. Like there's a
but
few.
There might be.
There's a few along this edge.
Yeah, you just found one.
Well, that whole length. So what you can do before you start cooking it, because they're easier to take out now.
Oh.
Same idea of descaling. You just basically trying to work them out.
Oh, okay.
That guy's having a nervous breakdown.
Who is?
How do you know?
Shh.
Oh, I hear it. Is that on him or the fillets? Oh.
It's just muscle memory from the nervous system.
Oh, I know what muscle
Well, I was about
memory.
to say, is the head dead yet? Apparently not.
Oh, it is. It's just, it doesn't know it's dead.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, so all this is basically junk. Hose it off, and that stuff looks fairly good.
Okay.
On
Yeah.
this bigger fillet, Eli, there's some bones.
Yeah, I'll
They're
be
not too bad. They're just in that little.
I'll be careful when I eat it.
They're also near the base, like the thinner end of it, so
Yeah.
they should cook out and soften to the point where you're not going to have any issue that way.
Okay.
But yeah, I would rinse those off really good, and then yeah, if you want to cook them, pan fry them, do whatever you're doing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
say you're making a Japanese themed. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm making it
All right,
Japanese.
you got a bag or something?
Well, I've got a yeah, I got a bin.
Okay, so now we're gonna start the cleaning process for these. I think I'm gonna start off with this fillet. This fillet looks good. So all we're gonna do is just clean this under cold water and like. Yes, I do feel some bones doing this. But this is gonna remove all the parasites and scales and all that nasty.
Yeah, does he need another clean plate?
Well, it wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't.
Just so all
Can
Could
you
I
grab
have-
one? There's one right behind my head.
Yeah. So all of this stuff, like right here, I've kind of found out is just bone. Thank you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next up is this this fillet, and we're just gonna clean this side off. 90% of this is just gonna come off when it's cooking, probably. I'm making sure you're probably properly cleaned, because I really don't feel like I'm sick for a weekend and never having to do one of these again. That would suck. Now, the big piece. We're gonna obviously clean this one good because it has blood on it. Oh, I think I see some of the spine, but it'll probably be fine, honestly. Alright, so that was the entire cleaning process. So, what do we do with this?
Yeah. You can rinse them and throw them on the plate if you want.
Yeah, no. These are just morsels. That would be too generous, actually, cooking them. So, no. We're going to stick with these three, because these three, I probably won't be able to eat this all, honestly.
Yeah.
So, let's get to the cooking. We're just going to start by melting some butter in this pan. It's going to take a bit, so you know what? I'm actually going to speed this up to 3. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. I'll just get back when this butter's melted. So we're going to put herbs de Provence on these fish.
So.
And then we're going to put, after this butter's done melting, which it luckily is, we're going to put our first piece of fish on. This is going to be really good, this wild caught fish, because it's my actually first time eating wild caught fish. Then we're going to wait 3 minutes.
Again. Alright.
Then we flip the fish. Oh, that just looks so good already. I can't believe these used to be a trout. Honestly, I can't believe it.
Do you want the rice in the bowl or just on the...
Before adding the fish is putting on the plum sauce. Okay, I think that's enough, honestly. So we just mix that in. Actually, no, thinking about it, we might need a bit more, because that's... Yeah, I'll just... yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it should be pretty mixed in there. So you want to go and take a picture of your fish?
Yep, and right after we are done this. Okay, so... Yep, that's the fish. Looks really good. We're going to have to take the skin off, obviously.
Oh, you don't want the skin.
No, because the skin will be absolutely disgusting because there was blood all over it earlier.
Yeah, but I'll fry it off.
Yeah. Anyways, catch y'all at the taste test. Here is our delicious trout rice. Okay, let's do the taste test. A little bit of everything in there.
How's that sound?
That's good. I like this. I rate this a solid 8.5 out of 10. The trout has a bit of an aftertaste that I just can't put my finger on it. But yeah, I like it. So, that's the end of today's video. Peace.